Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. Not going to play today because I'm taking an entire day off. Not going to play at all today. I've been playing my face off in rehearsals for the last couple weeks. And I'm not going to do that today. I need to not practice for like just 24 hours. And because of that, you don't get to hear me. But you will soon, next couple weeks I think. I'll finally play for you guys. So, first things first, of course, if you want to lesson with me, hit me up in the link down below and we'll set something up and we'll make both of us better at trombone in some way. Next, somehow I've managed to get some instruments for crazy deals. I don't know why these just randomly pop up. There's just like little periods where people are like, you know what, I'm just going to undervalue these instruments. These ones probably not undervalued, they're pretty beat up, but I got them for cheap prices. So, first of all, I got another 42B. Wait, no, not this one. Okay, yeah, I got another 42B. No, wait, not this one either. I got another 42B. Yes, it is actually this one. And this is a corporation horn, I think mid-late 70s, 76, 77. An entire 42B with the dope. Let me show you the dope 70s style French case in like really good shape. Usually these are pretty ripped up. It's got like a couple of scuffs, but like this is good enough that I kind of want to keep it. Usually these, they're not a super great case, it's still pretty heavy, but otherwise pretty small, and man, such great shape. So I think I'm going to keep this for storage. Pretty happy about that. But yeah, I got this 42B in okay shape. It was approximately worth the price that I paid. First of all, the slide is actually great. And it's better than my 90s slide in most ways. It plays differently. It's not necessarily better, but it's different. And it actually works with my modern 2000s 42B that I've just had packed away for a long time. It works with this really well, and this combo is now what I'm playing. I'm really happy with that. So happy with this. It's got good action. The inners are in good shape. Just needed to be cleaned very badly. So cool, I got a slide, which is honestly most of what I wanted. The bell section, not as good of shape. No like big dents or anything. Tuning slide's in good shape. The bell is actually in very good shape. Doesn't look like it got banged around a lot, not a lot of like mute dents and stuff. This is flat. Just that's hard enough to find. But the valve section is not in good shape. It's kind of hard to tell on video, of course, because you're not trying it yourself. This is not very fast. And this is after I've taken it all apart, vinegar bathed a bunch of it, cleaned it, lubed it, adjusted it perfectly, and it's still got a lot of slop. It's not very fast and honestly doesn't play very well. This is the kind of setup that makes people think, oh, Bach 42s with a closed wrapper, stuffy. This is stuffy, doesn't play very well. And part of that is probably because, if I take this tuning slide out, sproing, you can see both of the braces here, you can see the gap. The braces here are popped, and the bell actually sproings away from those braces. So this was built, I'm assuming, yeah, it hasn't been taken apart. This was built with a bunch of tension in it. And at some point, maybe the tuning slide, like maybe took it out or something and knocked it, these braces let go, because of course they would. There's that much tension in the build. So that's probably one reason the horn doesn't play super well. Also, you can see the tuning slide super rounded out at the top, because if you put this in wrong, you're gonna keep messing it up. Let's see if I can even do it right now. Nope, look at that. Already it's stuck. And no, I'm not forcing it, just moving my hands into a better spot. This is exactly why this happens. There we go. Not that bad. The tubing is actually all in pretty good shape. Maybe I can salvage some of this. I'm thinking right now that this bell is going to come off and actually get mounted to my 36K project. So I'll have a lightweight gold flare, I'll have a yellow flare, this one, just a 42 bell, and a 36 Corporation bell. So this, but ½ inch smaller. Because I think the bell is actually really good. This does sound really cool. It's got some cool color. But this itself doesn't play very well. I'm pretty sure this was the large bore instrument of a jazz trombonist who basically only played small bore. And so this didn't get played very often, didn't get maintained a lot, and ended up like this. And that's okay. I got it for very cheap. It was about the price it should have been, and I got a really cool slide out of it, cool case, and potentially a good bell. So this is one of the instruments I got. The other one is, you guessed it, another 50B. I just can't stay away. I already know I am, but I'm addicted to 50Bs, especially singles for some reason. I've said over and over and over and over again, singles are useless, and I'll never have one. Well, I keep ending up with them, and I keep ending up with Bachs in particular. And this one is seen better days, we'll put it that way. So, another Corporation instrument. This one's earlier 70s, I think. Dated it to like, well, let's check. Yeah, this is like a 74, 75 instrument. It's a little earlier than the 42B. Let's check out the slide first, shall we? Lots of things to look at on this instrument. So one, yes, it's silver plated. Somehow, I own 3 silver plated trombones at the moment. I don't even really like silver plated trombones, but they keep making their way to me. They are always really cheap, really undervalued for some reason. So hand grip area actually is in remarkably good shape. Even this area here is in good shape. And then we get farther down the tubes, and then there's one giant patch that goes all the way around the lower tube down here by the spit valve. For me, this is kind of the area where my hand touches when I empty the spit valve. I can't imagine that someone like wore through this emptying the spit valve, because that would have happened up here first. Someone probably pinholed this, or who even knows, but there's a giant brass patch all the way around the outside of this outer. And then if we look at the inners, it looks to me like this was played outside in like a windy, sandy environment maybe. So maybe a military horn. I'm pretty sure I bought this from a guy who gets horns mostly from schools. I'm not entirely sure what the story would be, but it looks like it was literally played kind of heavily with sand on it, because the inners have these kind of like striations. And Bachs usually don't lose chrome like in the way that cons will. So really odd wear on this. Doesn't have great action, pretty noisy. It's usable, and actually the slide's not a horrible player. It's got the usual problem that most beat up Bach slides have, is that they eat mouthpieces. This is, this usually will sit in this far, and it goes in that far. That's really common. I'm not sure if it's because the lead pipes are soft or something, but that does affect how the horn plays when the mouthpiece goes in too far. So the slide's kind of a wash. Like, I was kind of hoping that just the outer tubes, like I could just replace this bottom tube and I'd have a good 50 slide. But the inner tubes are also pretty trashed. I don't know if it's worth getting all 4 new tubes just to have a 50 slide. The crook also has some pretty big dings. So, not sure what I'm going to do with this. I could just keep it as is, as like a super ultra duper backup. Somehow all my other slides are dead. I need something. Not sure about this. As for the bell section, guess what? Even more things are wrong. So, check it out. Silver plated. Why is it silver plated, man? What is with these people? It's Corporation. It's got the like school number or something like etched into it right here. Thank you for that, whoever did that. Bell is crunched right here. You can see it's also sad. I call it sad bell, but the bell droops, and so it's really close to the slide, and it's actually ovaled out right here. So it got mashed this way somehow. I'm not really ever sure how sad bell happens on trombones, but it seems to happen pretty often. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have this bell taken off, or fixed on this anyway, get it all rounded out, get it reshaped, and I'll probably take the bell off because the bell section, the rest of it's also not in great shape. This valve actually has okay action, doesn't play super well. I can tell it's pretty leaky. The tuning slide has been shortened. This gap right here is really small on a stock. Oh God, a stock 50B. It's usually something like this. You can fit a counterweight in here without pushing the tuning slide in all the way, but this one sits right here. So actually shortened this. I don't see this very often on school instruments, so kind of a neat find. And I didn't realize that, and I usually play 50Bs with the tuning slide all the way in because they're pretty long. And so I was playing it with the tuning slide all the way in, and someone was like, hey, is that horn in high pitch? And I didn't even realize I was just playing like 40 cents sharp. So actually kind of neat. This would probably have to be shortened anyway. The slides are actually in pretty good shape, but again, one, this has a bunch of big old flat spots in the poor tuning slide, and two, we've got the usual rounding out of the tuning slide legs, just like the 42, and the alignment here is not especially good. The legs are wider than the span of this. That's why it's so hard to move, and that's why these are all rounded out. There we go, got that in nice and easily. And otherwise, I mean, it's a 50B. It's pretty useless. I keep getting these things, and I had a really good one a couple of years ago, and I just don't use them because they're useless. So this isn't really for me to use necessarily. I kind of want to maybe save the bell because I think it does sound pretty good, and we'll see what happens to the rest. You know, maybe just sell the tubes and stuff, or maybe work them into some other project. But there we go. There's 2 more Bachs that I definitely did not need, but somehow ended up with again. And like I said, the Corporation slide that I got and my modern 42B that I've had for quite some time play really well together. I actually went through all my bell sections, both my slides, because I have a 90 slide as well, and matched them all up, saw the differences. And it was really interesting to see how things paired up. The Corporation slide on the Corporation bell section, it's okay. It sounds pretty good. It's not very easy to play. This bell section with the slide that it came with sounds bad and is not easy to play. It's really, I thought this was just kind of a bad bell section, but when I paired it up with this, boom, it's a great 42. It plays low, plays high, it's in tune. It's relatively easy for, you know, being closed wrap in a rotor. There's something weird about Bachs. They're not all matched up perfectly. And I think I may have mentioned this in the last video, but I'm also playing Greg Black. Not a Greg Black. This is the other guy's. This is a Griego Alessi 1C. So actually very similar to the Greg Black New York 1.25 that I used to have. The same cup depth and same rim diameter, of course. Different designs over a matter of years. But I love this thing. I really loved that Greg Black back in the day, and for some reason I sold it. Not really sure why. And getting back to this very similar mouthpiece, I'm like, man, why did I ever do that? I went on this whole route of playing smaller stuff and back on the same thing. Really happy with this, and I'll play all this stuff for you guys in the next video, but gotta take today off. And I'll see you guys in that one. Bye.